What if I told you that one of the greatest musicians in history created his most epic masterpieces while he couldn't hear a single note? Today, we're diving into the insane story of Ludwig van Beethoven, a man who faced an artist's worst nightmare and didn't just survive. He changed the world forever. We're going to explore how a kid from a small German town became a legend, battled a crippling disability, and composed music so powerful it's still shaking concert halls 200 years later. This isn't just a history lesson, it's a story of pure, unbelievable human will. It's going to be an emotional journey. We'll look at the secret letters where he confessed his darkest fears, and the revolutionary music he wrote in defiance of them. From the iconic first notes of his Fifth Symphony to the legendary Ode to Joy, we're going to uncover the genius, the struggle, and the ultimate triumph of Beethoven. This video is going to be an absolute roller coaster. We'll break down Moonlight Sonata and the rule-shattering Eroica. And trust me, you don't want to miss the moment he conducted his final symphony in total silence. Let's get into it. Our story starts in Bonn, Germany, in December 1770. Ludwig was born into a world filled with music and pressure. His father, Johann, saw insane talent in little Ludwig and pushed to make him the next Mozart. This wasn't gentle encouragement, it was relentless. Stories tell of midnight lessons and exhaustion. He performed publicly at 7, paraded as a prodigy. The grind forged an iron will and deep scars. He wasn't just playing, he was creating beyond his years. Those early days planted a revolution's seed. As a teen, he set his sights on Vienna, the center of classical music, home to giants, Mozart, Joseph Haydn. He packed his early works and left Bonn for good in 1792, a make-or-break move. He studied with Haydn, learning the rules he'd break. Headstrong and ambitious, he sought more teachers in secret. Soon, his piano improvisations left audiences in tears. He was channeling raw emotion through the keys. In a few years, the kid from Bonn became a sensation across Europe. At the peak of his fame, Beethoven's worst nightmare began. In his late 20s, he noticed ringing, tinnitus. High notes faded, conversations blurred. He hid it. Terrified patrons would abandon him. He withdrew. People mistook pain for arrogance. He wrote of panic when others heard what he could not. A distant flute for them, total silence for him. It was a slow, agonizing descent, like a painter going blind or a chef losing taste. Every note he wrote was shadowed by loss. The medium he lived in was being stolen, note by note. The crisis had begun, and it would push him to the brink of despair. He avoided gatherings he once thrilled, but something inside refused to quit. He would write his truth and choose his fate. Everything changes in a village outside Vienna. A letter meant to be read only after his death. But first, a reckoning with himself. The sound of silence would become the sound of defiance. By 1802, he retreated to Heiligenstadt, desperate for relief. Instead, the quiet forced a terrifying truth. He wrote the Heiligenstadt Testament, a confession to his brothers and to the world. He admits shame, anxiety, even thoughts of suicide. What held him back? His art. He vows to live for the music still inside him. Out of that crisis, a new heroic voice is born. He returned to Vienna with a vengeance. Symphony No. 3, the Eroica, changed the game. A declaration of war on tidy convention. He first dedicated it to Napoleon, the revolutionary hero. Then Napoleon crowned himself emperor. Furious, he scratched out the dedication. The hero became heroism itself. Nearly an hour long, audiences weren't ready. A vast funeral march, death, courage, humanity, violent contrasts, jarring dissonances, unprecedented depth. It shattered expectations and rewrote the symphony, from grief to triumph, the heroic ideal in sound. The letter made the music, and the music made the man. While revolutionizing symphonies, he wrote deeply personal piano works. Moonlight Sonata, a nickname given after his death. A critic heard Moonlight shimmering on a lake. He dedicated it to Giulietta Guicciardi, a student he loved. A love letter of longing, ending in a storm. For Elise, charming, unforgettable, the world's practice piece. The original's lost. Elise may have been Therese. Mystery endures. By 1818, he was almost totally deaf. He could no longer perform, barely conduct. He used conversation books to communicate. Genius and willpower. He heard it all in his head. His process was painstaking, fragments forged into cathedrals. He felt vibrations through keys and floor, even jaw and rod. He built symphonies, sonatas, quartets from inner hearing, late piano sonatas, the Missa Solemnis, and the monumental Ninth, all from a world of silence, a testament to the human spirit overcoming the impossible. He refused to surrender and created anew. Silence outside, symphonies within. Now, the most legendary premiere in history. In 1824, after a decade of work, he unveiled his Ninth Symphony. Profoundly deaf, he insisted on being on stage. He could only hear the music in his head. For the first time in a symphony, human voices join. Schiller's Ode to Joy, a call to universal brotherhood, a melody now recognized around the world. He couldn't hear the thunderous ovation. Only then did he see thousands on their feet, many in tears. In his final years, he turned inward to late string quartets, challenging, mysterious, and profound. He wrote for the spirit, not convenience, a holy song of thanks after illness, otherworldly beauty, music as philosophy, as prayer, as infinity. He died in 1827 during a fierce thunderstorm, with a final defiant gesture. 20,000 mourners lined Vienna's streets. He reshaped Western music and paved the Romantic era. Giants followed his path of personal expression and scale, from 4 fateful notes to a global anthem of unity. Remember the man who couldn't hear and taught the world how to feel. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next video.